WDON is proud to present our latest podcast, The Colors of Sound. Our mission is to create a safe space for community members from around the world to share their personal stories. Listen on all streaming platforms or on our podcast station, WDON1204.com. The Colors of Sound podcast. Discover how much we have in common. Over the summer of 2023, Coleman Global partnered with Sage USA to bring the Colors of Sound podcasting workshop to LGBT plus older adults in New York City. The intergenerational sessions focused on finding your point of view and the art of storytelling. Each week, participants crafted their own topics for discussion, developed their own questions to help move the conversations along, spoke about podcasting equipment, and had brief discussions on how to market podcasts online. Throughout the workshop series, the participants shared their personal stories of both struggle and of triumph. We laughed about the things that are common in society and debated those things that divide our global community. Welcome to the Colors of Sound podcast. You are now a part of the conversation.
Hi, my name is Candy, and we're coming to you today live from Bronx Sage. Our topic today is Don't Judge Me Because I'm Gay.
Beautiful. So who would like to start our conversation? Who has a story where they were judged for who you are?
Well, I don't know if this is like the proper way to start it off, but you know, I have this bright colored hair and stuff like that. And yesterday I experienced this with this older man, and I think he thought he was being nice, but straight people do this like a lot, where they'll like, oh yes, you look good, whatever. But this is what he did. He came onto the bus or whatever, and he was like, oh, I see you wearing your colors today. And I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing my colors. Thank you so much. You like it or whatever, trying to be nice about it. And I'd like look at my phone and like try to ignore him or whatever after that, but he keeps on repeating it. And then automatically the subject goes to, oh, you see, I'm not homophobic or anything, but you know, like, yeah, da, 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 da. I'm like, why does the subject have to go from that? Like, from you liking my hair to you being not homophobic. Like, that's weird. Like, straight people always have, like, that thing where they need to remind you that they're not homophobic and that you're gay. Like, baby, I know I'm gay, thank you. Like, it's weird. That was, like, a little thing that I experienced yesterday.
And you feel like he picked up on it? I mean, have you had any other interaction with that person before?
No, he was just a random man that came onto the bus. And it's just like, I don't know, straight people just do this thing where like, and I feel like they're trying to be allies, and I appreciate it, but like there's a way to do it. Like, you don't have to bring up my sexuality every time you see somebody who may be gay. Like, baby, how you know I'm not gay? Like, I could have just been someone who likes bright colors. You feel me?
Right.
And you just put that on me automatically. You feel me? So it was just, I just didn't like that. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like the, yes, girl, walking down the street. It's like, if it's from you, and because you know me, like, you don't know me, don't yes girl me, because you don't know my pronouns. Like, you don't know my pronouns. You don't know if I like that or not. You don't even know if I'm gay or not. You just assuming because the way I'm dressed.
Right.
Yeah. I don't like that. I feel like that's judging.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Well, colors are for everybody. So
Colors are for everybody. Absolutely.
You know, the correlation between colors and homosexuality is like, that's kind of off-putting.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a way to do it. Like, if you want to compliment me, you can just compliment me, but don't like backhanded. Kinda. It feels like backhanded.
Well, sometimes when they say that, straight people say that they try to appear cool.
Yeah.
And they try to appear like they're okay with everything. Oh, well, I'm cool. You know, I'm cool. Without saying I'm cool, there's like, oh, you know, that's cute. You know, they try to compliment you without letting you. And then they could be on the down low. Mm-hmm. Okay, they could be wanting to an in for you to say something for them to come in and
be like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, no, baby, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You got the wrong person. I'm not going to do it.
They got people got a habit of saying, I got gay friends. I got a couple of gay friends.
Yes. My best friend is gay. And
what does that have to do with me?
Yes.
So they're trying to let you know in an offhanded way that they're cool with your lifestyle without, really complimenting you on your, or saying that they're cool with your lifestyle. Oh, my best friend is gay. I have a sister that's gay.
Yeah. But it feels like a microaggression. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's another way to do it, but I don't know what way that would be.
They just don't know how. They're trying to.
Yeah. Because when I talk to other, like, LGBT people, we be cool. Like, we don't have to state it. It's like, okay, we vibing off each other. We just people. But that's where I want to see. I want you to see me as a person first.
It's understood between y'all.
Yeah, it is understood.
It's
a different communication.
So in here, because I've been in here and I made the mistake one time of calling the young men. I was like, look, boy. And he was like, what? Don't call me that. Some men want to be called girl. And want to be called woman. Said, don't you dare. What you call me? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, but it was automatic. I saw me, and I was like, hey, I was saying God, because he feels offended. But then you don't know how people are going to feel.
I'm not necessarily offended. It's just like the over comfortability, like the jokingness. But you don't know me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like real comfortable.
Yeah, it's like you real comfortable right now. Well, and think you didn't introduce me to yourself yet. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. I forgot what I was saying.
But sometimes the way you just said it, someone not knowing you will be like, "Hey, girl," or whatever.
I don't mind being called girl because I call my friends girl and stuff like that. It's just
But you
I don't appreciate it
by somebody that you don't know.
Yeah, it's a stranger. Like I don't know you. Like I feel like you just.
And if he's being funny or if he's being
right, I don't know you, so I don't know how you're really, what you really mean.
But with straight people, they come at each other like that.
Yeah,
I've been on the street, men approach me. I mean, even now, men approach me because you don't know what I am. But and they'll say things like, "Yo, mama, hey, baby," and you say this, and you say the same thing.
Right.
Don't approach me. I don't say you don't know me.
Yeah. And there's a way to do it, but it's not like that.
So then let me ask this question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's kind of like a learning curve, probably on like both sides, because I feel like we're in a time now where like everybody's kind of trying to be more inclusive and a little bit more accepting of like everybody's like lifestyle and stuff like that. So I don't think that it's always with malicious intent that, you're the person that is going through it, like your feelings, you feel how you feel at the end of the day. And I don't think that because I honestly believe it's a lot of like straight males that kind of do this. And I feel like they're trying to make you comfortable, but then also give distance.
Yeah.
So that they're not attached to something that would be seen as homosexual, but at the end of the day, that's how they're viewing it. And it's like it kind of gets projected onto the person that they're trying to communicate with. And it's literally really just a learning curve because at the end of the day, if we're all trying to be accepting and stuff, you got to be willing to teach.
It's that intersection.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So what about this same conversation as it pertains to race, right? Have you had somebody come up to you or see you at Walmart and they're like, "Oh, your kid is so cute. I have a black grandbaby."
That's exactly like the same thing.
Yeah.
Not I have a black grandbaby.
When they say my daughter just had her baby, it's from a black man. Something like that.
Right.
Like that's supposed to make you cool.
Feel good. Like it's like,
you
got a black person in your family. Oh my God. Like, no, I'm not gonna hop up like that. You feel me? Like that is just like the bare minimum for you not to be homophobic or not to be racist. You feel me? That's the bare minimum. Like I feel like they kind of expect you to praise them a little bit because of that, and I think that's the problem I'm having with it.
So social acceptance.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm not. Like it seems like, and I'm saying I as the person, right? It's like a person is saying, well, I'm not this, so I'm gonna lead with this whole crazy statement first, and then work my way backwards.
Yeah.
As opposed to just saying, hey, my name is Joe, how you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's a conversation.
Speak to me like I'm normal. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
we can have a normal conversation. You don't have to hop to the extreme.
Right. So does anybody else have that kind of experience? Being judged, like you were saying that men still approach you on the street, they don't know a preference, right?
Right.
Have you ever had a conversation and you tried to show him you weren't interested, but he kept pressing forward and you had to just blast it on him?
Yeah.
Right? So what did that feel like?
Because, they come at you and then they want to really be friendly, and we said, no, I'm not interested. So really, one person, I said, well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I like what you like. Okay, and it was like, oops. Okay, I like what you like, so that ended that.
So I had a person that
I like that.
I told them the same thing. I said, I'm gay. I like what you like. He said, all right, so let's just have a threesome.
That's what I was
Oh
going to
yeah,
say.
I get that.
Sometimes
I get
they're very
They seem to think you're a
inconsiderate.
freak or something.
But here's another way that we presume things about people, right? And we had a conversation where we talked about like the different groups we belong to and the fact that humans in general like to put people into categories because it makes them feel more
Comfortable,
safe
yeah.
and comfortable.
Vice versa. It's still very disrespectful because it's like if they know that you're not interested like that, then you gotta respect people's boundaries. Because if the roles were reversed, you would want us to go through hell and high water to prosecute or whatever, exile somebody for doing someone wrong. That's like that's
Some
kind of
people
sexual
feel like
harassment.
that it's a challenge.
Yeah, they
They feel
do.
like it's a challenge,
They
and
do.
they gonna turn you.
In
Yeah,
college,
that's what they
yeah.
say.
In college, for sure.
Sage leads in addressing issues related to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning, and other self-identifying members of the community aging. In partnership with its constituents and allies, Sage works to achieve a high quality of life for LGBTQ+ older people, supports and advocates for their rights, fosters a greater understanding of aging in all communities, and promotes positive images of LGBTQ+ life in later years. Has anybody been in any situations in your recent memory where you've gotten around a group of people and they expect you to be different around their friends than you might be just one-on-one? Do any of you ever experience that where you've got that good friend and you just like let it all hang out and you're just really cool and you can say anything to each other, but then you get around some of their other people and there's this energy like, oh wait, maybe I need to modify how I am for your benefit?
No, I don't do that.
I've been there.
Right.
Well, I am who I am when I am, how I am, where I am.
Yes.
I don't judge people. I try not to, but you're gonna get who I am, and whether you like it or if you don't like it, then just back away. You don't have to say anything. And that's how I am. I don't hide who I am. My everybody who I am. When I curse, I mean it's just around. It's no disrespect,
Right.
but that's just who I am.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to offend anybody, but that's just who I am. And you accept me, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool.
I've been in that situation where a friend of mine told me, we was going out with some of her friends from her job. She told me, she said, I'm letting you know right now, everybody's straight, so act straight.
How do you act straight?
I said, well, tell me how to act straight. Just don't look at them, don't
Don't look at
them, don't look
But see, and
them,
that's
don't
people's
talk to them,
perception
don't
of
tell-
gay people, lesbians, straight women. We don't want you all the time. We don't. It's not about wanting you.
Okay, but here's a statement that might get me in trouble. So one thing that I believe I've learned about women, which obviously I'm about to be corrected, is y'all look each other up and down anyway. Like women have like the fastest survey eye on the planet, right? Like somebody could just be cracking open the door and you're like, and you already got it, right? So how do you get in a situation and not look at somebody when y'all, in my opinion, when it seems like that's what women do anyway?
Women do judge.
Right?
They do judge.
I definitely was checking people out, I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely checking them out.
Right.
I mean,
how you gonna tell me not to check
it's
somebody
your
else?
eyes.
Yeah.
As long as you don't make nobody uncomfortable,
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
then what's the problem?
The minute you tell me not to check someone out,
That's
I'm
what
leaving.
yeah.
Right? Like,
Right.
that's my other problem.
That's the
Like,
first
okay.
thing I'm gonna do. Oh, so they must be fine up here.
Yeah.
Right. Like, tell me the opposite of what you want me to do, because that's going to make me do it. Yeah.
I mean,
But I've had a problem with some of my family members. Just found out that I've been gay over 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I hid it. Because when you grow up in the South, I went to Catholic school because my parents wanted to take me to private school. They wanted to take me to private school. But I went to Catholic school, then went to Methodist church with my mother after the Catholic Mass. So I grew up with so much religion and hearing so much stuff and so much negative stuff. Oh, it was like, oh, those people. And it was like, oh no. Oh no. So when somebody approached, I was like, oh no, oh no. The first person I was with for 2 years, she tried to talk to me. I was like, oh no, I'm not like that. Oh no, I'm not like that. And it was very difficult.
It's like a freeing feeling though to like live unapologetically and just like be able to say what you want.
So I'd love to flip the conversation just a little bit and talk about the BIPOC community, right? BIPOC, Black and Indigenous People of Color. Another label in our community of Black and Brown beauty. What are your thoughts about some of the stigma around our health, our mental health, our physical health, going to the doctor, staying on top of all your medical appointments? Are you all good with that? Do you have family members that you have to like kind of force to?
What if, because I hear a lot of, well, history has shown that they say that, Black women and Black people don't always get the best help when it comes down to medical professionals and stuff, and they tend to be a lot rougher than they would with another race, So I recently, not really recently, but maybe a year ago, I had a dead tooth and I had to get it removed, and I waited, which I shouldn't have done, but I did. I waited, and when it was time for me to get it extracted, they put numbing stuff in it, and I did have in the beginning, it was a Caucasian doctor, and they were being very rough, and I'm very pain tolerant, but another, I guess a more senior dentist came in, and they seen that I was like visibly in so much pain, but I'll just sit there and take it, because at the end of the day, I need the tooth to come out, but the more senior dentist came in, and it was like, yeah, you're being extremely rough. You have to do this. And then they took over. And as soon as I want to say it was a person of color, but it wasn't like African American. They were another like race, but they were a person of color. They handled me a lot better than the original dentist. And honestly, the pain that I was going through in that point, and then after, when the swelling and everything else came up, I was honestly like, that was my worst dentist experience. And my family dentist was Black. So I always had good experiences up until that one experience with a Caucasian dentist. So I think that, at the end of the day, you still have to go and do what you have to do, but I think it is a real thing with them not handling us as well as they would another race.
That's interesting. Anybody else?
I can say I've been neglected for myself. I have missed some doctor's appointments, and I have thought about, like, if I go for this appointment, are they going to give me bad news? That's exactly where I go. I don't write on my calendar no more, because I'm getting older now. I don't want to hear no cancer, no this, no that. So I have been very neglected for my own health.
Yeah, I would say, the only way that darkness can have control over you is to coerce you into staying in a silo amongst yourself, a silo of one, right? When we fear knowledge, and of course it's, we're humans, like it's, things can be fatal, but when we fear that kind of knowledge, it only gives power to it, and whatever may or may not be cooking.
I just had some family members that recently started going to therapy, and I mean, I definitely need therapy, but health insurance is not doing me justice right now. I keep running into problems. Maybe it's because my mom is not doing my insurance. I'm not being, I don't know, it's like I'm having difficulty, but it's like, I personally do want a therapist. Like, I do want someone that I can go and talk to, and because I don't know them. Like, you could just say what you want to say, feel, you could just
It's
be
a neutral person.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're being judged as a therapist. I have a therapist, and I definitely have a good conversation with her. You don't feel like
do
they
also,
don't judge.
But I don't see mine. I have a virtual. I talk to her for 1 hour once a week. But I've never seen her.
No.
Even I could put that on my phone. I don't want to see her. I could talk.
That's
I
what
go to
that's
mine
nice.
once a month, and she's good. At first, I was scared to go because people used to say, "You crazy? You go to a therapist?" Yes, I go to a therapist. Maybe you need to go. That's why I go, because I need somebody to talk to, and I don't want to talk to no friends because it's all over the street when you talk to a friend. So when you go to a therapist, it's much better. And it's
But when
easier.
you've been a person, I worked in CUNY. I worked in the counseling office. 42 years. Remember, I worked in the counseling office.
Oh, wow.
And I was the type of person that the students, everybody ran to me. Oh, Miss Jackie, I got to talk to you, and this and that. So I was the one. So when I felt like I needed help, I made the mistake of saying to a good friend, I gotta go to the therapist. They're like, what? I depend on you. I talk to you. You can't be going to a therapist. I come to you for advice, and now you going to a therapist? It was like I disappointed them.
Yeah.
You better be happy I'm going to a therapist before I give you some biased information.
For real.
Awesome. So are there any final thoughts? Is there anything that folks wanted to say about your opinion of the day, your feelings about, what we spoke about today? Are there any thoughts that you didn't get a chance to share that you want to add in?
Oh yeah, I like back to the part where you were like changing in front of people. Like as of recently, I haven't had that experience with like friends because I keep people around me who encourage me to be myself, because I feel like personally, like being the type of person I am, a Black queer person in this world, it's like there's already anxiety around just even going outside. You know what I'm saying? So like I hate having people like that around me, so I never have those people. But mostly I'll get that type of energy from family. They'll be like, oh, there's kids around, don't act like this, don't act like that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't want you to influence the kids. Or can you flip up your piercings? Can you take out why is your nails painted? Stuff like that. And it's normally from family. It's like, it hurts because it's from people that you were supposed to be close with. But my chosen family don't be doing it.
Yeah.
You gotta be brave to be yourself all the time. You gotta be brave, for real.
Your choice.
That's right.
Share your story on the Colors of Sound podcast. Our mission is to create a safe space for community members from around the world to share their unique stories. Do you have an interesting story to share? Or perhaps a journey of triumph from a challenge that you faced? Do you want the world to know about your talent? Visit our website and complete our guest intake form at WDON1204.com. The Colors of Sound podcast. Discover how much we have in common.